Hey everybody, welcome to the Marble Jar Life. Tonight I want to welcome Alicia. She is an Ara Strong Health founder, and I will have her introduce herself for a little bit.
Awesome. Well, first of all, thank you for having me today. I'm very, very excited to be here and kind of share a little bit about myself and my business. So again, as she said, I'm Alicia Rodriguez Alvisa. In the fitness world, I'm called Ara. That's how I kind of grew on Instagram. So it's kind of my fitness name, I guess, my coach name, Coach Ara. And so I've been a fitness coach for a little over 2 years, having a whole story with a few years, more than 6 years in fitness. And after long kind of experiences with different weight loss transformations and going through my own struggles that maybe we can talk more about later. I don't know what the structure is. But that kind of took me to really realize that, a lot of people can go through the same problems in terms of the weight loss transformation. And I have actually a background of eating disorders. So kind of like my idea of becoming a fitness coach was to really help other women out there going through the same struggles and really help them kind of overcome any struggles that come with this journey, because it's a hard journey for sure. And it's really hard to do it alone. So I love knowing that I can be a good companion for these women who struggle a lot in their fitness journey and weight loss journey in general. So I actually I've been a coach and a personal trainer for over 2 years, but it wasn't until this year that I actually opened my brand online. I was doing a little bit of online training before, but it was like the beginning of this year when I really was like, I'm gonna go all in, and it's been an amazing experience, and that's how we actually got to connect. So again, I'm very excited to be here.
I'm very excited to have you. Thank you for joining me tonight. My first question, I have been reading your profile just to see kind of what your business is about. And I've noticed a few different posts, like there's one that talks about supplements. What type of supplements do you suggest women to use that want to do you have any that you have like that you guys use for your business?
So, if I am understanding the question correctly, it's you want me to kind of tell people or suggest people about good supplements. If that's sure. So I was hosting kind of like a mini series on my stories this week. It was a lot of fun. I kind of divided into different topics, and one of the topics, I think it was day 3, it was about day 4, it was about the best supplements for weight loss that I have discovered myself, and also have had the help of even doctors kind of suggesting, because my main focus is to help women lose weight, but through balancing their hormones, right? More than, getting them to an optimal aesthetic goal or anything like that. Is more about health and really making sure that their body is healthy and energized. So the supplements that I usually recommend are supplements that kind of act completely into balancing your hormones. So the three main supplements that I talked about on my mini series, and that I always tell even all my students, is magnesium right before bed, because it acts as a body relaxer. And also in terms of our nervous system, it's really, really important to not be so stressed. So it really helps with stress, with sleep. So it's a wonderful tool to have along your weight loss journey. The second one is potassium, which acts in a very good way with magnesium alone. Potassium is the one that I always get. It's a little bit controversial because there are a lot of people who cannot take it if they're taking pills. So it's one of those supplements that I definitely suggest, but you always have to check with your doctor if you can take it or not. But it's a wonderful supplement if you can take it to really minimize cravings, help us speed up the metabolism, and helps absorb a lot of vitamins and minerals that are hard to absorb for our bodies. And the last supplement that I always suggest is a protein powder, one that comes from a source. But protein powder is like it's essential. A lot of people don't have enough protein in their diets, and protein is such a good nutrient to have, and especially if you're vegetarian or vegan, it's really good to have that extra kick of protein. And it's great to speed up your metabolism because it's very important to have good muscle mass to burn more calories at rest, and protein powder and kind of including more protein into your diet is essential for that and for metabolism speed. So those are the three supplements that I always suggest, and they're not so expensive because if we talk about supplements, I could just spend an entire day talking about them. But those are kind of like the essential ones that I recommend if you are on a budget and if you know that you cannot buy so many. But I always specify that it's very, very important to know that supplements go along with what you're already doing, right? Which is good nutrition and good training.
With your training, how do you work with different people? Do you set different goals for everybody, or do you have like a certain amount of goals that you set for people?
Sure. So my niche is it's women who want to lose weight, and I come from a history of hypothyroidism, so I've had the opportunity to work with a lot of women with hypothyroidism or thyroid problems. That's why I've been focusing so much on kind of controlling their hormonal balance more than anything else. So the women that come to me or apply for my coaching, they either come with for kind of like because I understand that they have thyroid problems and that their weight loss is way slower than usual, which a lot of coaches out there don't understand. But others are completely healthy and they just want to improve their performance, their endurance. It really depends. But all the students that I've worked with, they have this goal in common, which is to feel best and have amazing confidence, and it's incredible. But there is a lot that happens inside and outside to bring that aesthetic goal, and it's to lose fat. I wish it wasn't like that, but it's true. It helps. And so that's a goal. And every time that we start working together, we kind of talk about short-term goals and long-term goals, and sometimes, most times, in my 3 months working with them, they get to achieve those goals. And if they sign up again, it's amazing to see that their goals change, and change in a good manner, because a lot of people start coaching just to achieve an aesthetic goal. And then when they're working with a coach and they see, they get stronger, they're more energized, they have more endurance, then their next goals are even more exciting. They're focusing on, I want to do more pull-ups, I want to do more push-ups, I want to be able to run 5K. And it's so exciting. So goals, they all change, but again, they do have kind of like that common ground, which is, to be confident and feel good and be healthy, feel healthy.
Whenever you set up your workout programs with your clients, do they as well have different workout programs, or do they have similar ones as well?
So my one-on-one clients definitely get their own programs. I customize everything from scratch, and I also have like people that are different ages, and also they have different health conditions, different fitness levels. So I have to, even if, let's say, if I'm not a good coach and I just put everything out there, it's like I still have to change things around. But I consider my program to be very complete, and I work with a small group of women to really make sure that I am making everything from scratch as they deserve. Right now, for instance, I'm working with a student who I love, and she's doing amazing in the program, and she has a prosthetic leg. That has been an amazing challenge, because it's kind of like really building a whole program from scratch online, because that's the other thing. It's like you can get all these kind of clients in person, and then you see them, you assess them, and you kind of know what to do next, right? But when it's online, the experience is different. So it's been a good challenge in that sense. And it's kind of like one of those things that even if I would find a shortcut for, finishing a program faster, I can't, because again, also I'm a perfectionist and I like to do a good job. So at the end, I definitely create all the programs from scratch, and it's amazing to see the progress, because I also change the workouts every 2 weeks depending on the progress of the client. And sometimes I envision doing these exercises, but then they improve so much in 2 weeks that I already have to step it up, and they surprise me, and it's really fun.
That's really cool. With your clients, how do you come up with your 5-day challenges that you have? Do you work those 5-day challenges in, but they're already, I'm trying to think of what I'm trying to say there, that are, do you incorporate them with the workouts that you already give them, the 5-day challenges? Do they do that on top of their workouts, or do they do that separately?
So with the challenges, I design the challenges separately. They have kind of like snippets of what my actual coaching is about and includes. For instance, right now I have this. I'm hosting in a week and a half of a free 5-day challenge, and in that challenge I created from scratch. But when it's a program that is general, and it's supposed to fit different fitness levels and different ages and even different genders, which is not the case, but still, when that happens, it's pretty easy to create the program knowing what I know, right, with all the knowledge. But the idea is that I wanted to keep it different, because I do these challenges every now and then, and there's still people that come back, and I still want them to have a good and new experience. So I try to always build them from scratch. And I also invite, if my clients are doing their program, it's good, now and then to have a kick and then have a challenge that they can definitely participate. But yeah, definitely, like, I love changing things up, and I love people that come back to look for more and still have something new.
So you have people that come back, and then you also have people that are new. When you get new clients, do you have like a certain group that you focus on, like with your clients, or is it just a broad client base?
I didn't get the question, sorry.
Is your client base abroad? Is it like very broad, like throughout, like how your clients are, like?
Mm-hmm. So if I understood correctly, in terms of broad clientele, my clientele mostly comes from from my online platforms, either Instagram or Facebook. They're all over the world, thank goodness. I love like this variety. My dream is to be able to coach online people in Cuba, because I'm from Cuba, and I know that I connect with my roots and Cuban people so well. I know that the business can gain so much from that, but it's very, very hard because of the situation in Cuba. But besides that, I cannot do that. I've been able to connect with women all over the US, even in Canada, in France, in Asia, and it's really incredible to know that so many people and so many wonderful women can empower each other through a platform or through my coaching. Because that's the other thing. It's like when you enter my platform, which is an app, in which that's where I deliver the programs and everything, and I keep them accountable. We have a group chat, and in that group chat, like, everyone connects and everyone kind of like shares their wins or their struggles, their meals, their give motivation to each other. And these are people who are all over the world, and And today, I kind of like I treat my clients in a manner that by the end of our program, we can feel like friends. So I know that, if I go to France, I have a couch where to crash, or like if I go to California, maybe I also have like a couple of clients that I could, not that I'm going to ask for, to stay with them, but I know already that I have friends there, and it was through, through just an amazing experience together. Hopefully I answered the question right, because I kind of understood in terms of placing and location.
You did. You were right on target.
So,
I was also wondering, how do you come up with different like meal plans for people throughout that? How do you complete your meal plans with your workouts?
yeah, so with the meal plans, let's say what I've learned throughout the years, and there is a specific nutrition approach that I follow. That it's not so much about counting calories, and it's not so much about working with like with specific foods or anything like that. It's more about I kind of have them understand to eat and teach them to eat in favor to their body and to what actually heals their hormones and heals their energy balance and everything like that. So we divide foods into two categories, and within those categories, once they know where foods fall, then they know how to combine it through portion sizing. So I try to make it as simple as possible. In that sense, we can always have variety. We can always come up with another plan and kind of that it's easy to keep up with, right? It's kind of like I design meal plan for them in terms of having in mind their allergies, their food restrictions, their things that they love, things that they don't like, and such. And once I have all of that information, I can create meal plans. But at the end, they almost end up feeling that my idea is that they end the coaching knowing that they can still get their meal plans done by themselves, and they learn which foods work for them and which ones don't, and what's the portion sizing for each food. So the whole experience, either from including nutrition to training, it's that they end up learning how to do this by themselves, because that's the idea. And the idea behind empowering someone is to really give them the tool so they learn also how to do it themselves, and then they feel empowered. So with that approach, I try to really not have them go crazy about calorie counting or counting macros or counting single thing they eat, because that's not so good for your mental health, but also it's more sustainable in the long run. And so the meal plans, coming up with them, it's a little bit tricky, because the first 3 meals are easy because you still have diversity, but then I find myself kind of like, what do you like best? What do you like me to repeat? And I love the one-on-one experience, because by that time, I'm already kind of, I know them, they know me, and we feel close enough to kind of, ask questions, and they feel good about, asking, hey, can I have those apples again? They were amazing. Or can I have that recipe that you had? That's amazing. So I really try that it's that at the beginning it's me, kind of like it's me telling them what to do, but we end up in the middle, kind of like midway and at the end, to be a collaboration, kind of like we're creating this together, we're doing this together for you, right? And I give them the tools, but they have to learn how to use them and how to do things. So once the program ends, if they want to sign up, that's awesome. Again, right? But if not, they're ready to keep going on their own, and that's definitely the goal and the idea.
Awesome. Do you have any clients that have inspired you the most? Do you have anybody that has helped you?
Yes, for sure. I still don't have single student, because I like to call them students. I still don't have a single student that hasn't taught me something, or I haven't had like a bad experience. There are even some students that are not, like 100% into the program or anything like that, but I know that everyone has been doing their best, and they always have something to teach me, or something to motivate me. I have students who send me post-workout selfie at 9 p.m. And I'm like, how can you work out at 9 p.m.? I didn't know. That's amazing. And sometimes I feel like I haven't done my workout. I get a client selfie, and I'm like, I'm going to the gym. This is kind of healthy, right? That kind of thing. So it's amazing to know. It's kind of happy to have that there. And but my students kind of, I have students who are artists, who are writers, who are entrepreneurs, and they're all working very hard along their fitness and health journey. They're all trying to, either they already have a career and they're trying to just keep up with it, or they're trying to build something for themselves, and that teaches me a lot, because all I think about is fitness when when I'm working with them and working in my business, and I see everything together. But I have to put myself in their shoes, right? Kind of knowing that they have a life, and then health and fitness is another thing, and they touch it, right? Kind of like a few times a day, and then they go back to their life. Whereas this is all my life, so they definitely help me understand more about balance, because I'm the coach who teaches about balance, but they are the ones who are really, really practicing it. And that teaches me every day on how to really, life happens. It happens. Like, we're not perfect, and they remind me of this every single day, and it allows me to be, I would say, less harsh on myself, because sometimes I'm very hard with myself, being a workaholic, being a perfectionist, and they remind me of, life is not perfect, and we all have insecurities, we all lack confidence some days, we all lack motivation, and we're all together to kind of motivate each other and be better people together. So I don't have only one client, because all of them are amazing, and all of them have taught me something or shared something that has impacted me in a positive way. So it's an amazing experience for sure.
That's really cool. Have you overcome any fears in this business?
Oh my God, yes. Like being live, I've always liked the cameras. I've always liked taking pictures of myself and everything. But once you have a business, an online business, and marketing is online and everything, and I have a Facebook group, and learning that I have to be, live and three times a week, and all of this is like a lot of things that I like to do, but once it becomes a job and also becomes so regular that you have to do it, it's a whole other thing. So I even sometimes, like, before going to camera, I'm like, do I have to do this? Yes, I have to do this, and then I go in, right, and it's kind of like trying to break those barriers that you feel that sometimes they're gone, but some days they're still there. And but yeah, definitely going live so often has been a major difference, and a major fear to overcome in the business. Sales calls as well, and I never made a sales call in my life before starting the business, and it's such an important part of it, right? But yeah, being on camera, and being for 60 minutes or 50 minutes with someone on camera, and then telling me either their fears, their struggles, their insecurities, it's such an amazing experience. But I was afraid of doing that, right? It's like I was afraid of stepping into their lives. I was afraid of saying something wrong. So that's been also a major challenge, a major fear to overcome. And and being completely honest, because again, I try to be as real as possible and transparent as possible. It's, when I very first started, it was kind of like So I know my program works because I tested it with myself, I tested it with my family. But what about when I open it to the world, right? Like, are people going to like my program? Are people going to, I had a lot of insecurities, and those become fear, right? Because you're insecure about yourself, you're already afraid of, negative thinking, negative comments, or negative feedback, or, students not liking what I do. So at the beginning, that was a big deal too. Still, I went for it, I did it, but those thoughts were in my head. So that's another fear I overcame. I'm long far from thinking those things anymore. And there are many things, but yeah, 2020 in that sense with my business and just in general has been an important year in my life in terms of personal development. And it's been great. It's been sad. It's been happy. It's been, madness. It's been all kinds of things. But I'm very grateful for what I've been able to achieve and overcome this year for sure.
That's really fantastic. I really enjoyed having you on the show tonight, and I am all out of questions for the evening. If you would like to say anything to the audience, you're more than welcome to. So it's really wonderful having you. So if you want to direct them to your page, you're more than welcome to. Um, in the comments, we are going to put her 5-day challenge in there. So if anybody is interested, click on the link and it will take you to her page, and then she can direct you towards her group page and through messages.
Awesome. Yeah, so that 5-day free challenge, I basically created it because I know that a lot of people, and specifically women, because I work with women, they struggle a lot throughout the holidays, and it's so easy to kind of just forget about your health and put everything aside when you have to get Christmas presents, and you can spend a lot of money because it's Christmas, and you're basically also trying to like keep up with your family, keep up with your job, keep up with the holidays. So I kind of love posting these challenges because I kind of make it easier for them and kind of help them to kind of kickstart the year. So what they will get is basically 5 days of and with a nutrition plan and workout plan and accountability from me. But it's this time I kind of made it very exclusive because I want to work one-on-one. And again, I told you I expressed my excitement with working one-on-one. So I love doing that. And again, with the group coaching and the accountability in terms of like as a community, I love that. So I would love to kind of, be thankful about this year together with many other women who want to kickstart the new year, strong and as much as possible. So thank you so much for sharing the challenge link. And I hope you you apply for it.
Maybe I will.
Awesome.
Well, thank you again for being on the show. It's been a great pleasure.
My pleasure.
Thank you everyone for watching. And once again, if it's okay with you, if they can message you if they would like, or to get more information. I don't know if that's okay. I usually tell people and message everybody, message the person that I interview at the end of the show.
Sure, no problem at all.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you guys, and we'll see you later.
Thank you.
Have a good one. You're welcome.